I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Rakah Kwadash. Double honours to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teacheth the Bible in 100% truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, starting with the 144,000, consisting of the Negroes, Latinos and Native Americans in the land of North, Central and South America, as well as the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners living amongst the other nations. Shalom to you. Okay, today looking at seeing the scriptures through the Spirit. And if you're new to this, you have to understand that you can pick up the Bible and you can read through it, and then you can memorize the scriptures, memorize the chapters, the verses. And there's many people out there that can do this, and then they play the role of the teacher. However, you have to have a thing called the Holy Spirit working with you, and when you're trying to understand these scriptures, and that Holy Spirit will guide you through the scriptures, give you greater understanding of what's actually written on these particular pages. And if you've been in this for a while, then obviously you're going to understand this already. And if you're new to this, then this is quite important, something you have to understand, seeing things through the Spirit. So, and we know the scriptures are talking to the children of Israel, who are known as the sons of the Most High, or the proper name is Yasha'Allah, which is Prince of the Power. And so the scriptures, the Bible and the Apocrypha being a section of the Bible that they removed in order to hide more truth. When you go through the scriptures, you'll find that it's pretty much a history book of the children of Israel, as well as obviously other nations. There are bits of information relating to other nations around the world, and it also applies to prophetical events, again based around the children of Israel, certain things, certain changes that are going to take place. And so these children of Israel, Yasha'Allah, sons of the Most High, are made up of 12 tribes. Again, when you're going through the scriptures, you can understand this. And even though there are people living in the land today in which we were promised as a nation, you go through the scriptures, you find out that we were promised as a nation a particular land. And then today you look at that particular land and there are people of other nations living in that land, and there are also imposters, people that are claiming to be our nation, but when you look at it, you ask them, well, where are the 12 tribes, and they won't be able to point that out to you, whereas we're claiming to be those true people of the scriptures, the children of Israel, Yasha'Allah, and we're telling you we consist of the 12 tribes as mentioned in the scriptures. And so you're looking at this is a 12 tribe chart of Israel. This is mentioned in Ezekiel chapter 37, and this particular chart lets you know where today you will find the 12 tribes of Israel scattered around the earth according to the scriptures. So if you're new, you can look this up online, you can read through this at a later date. And what you'll notice, for example, you'll have the tribe of Judah. It says here the so-called Negroes, so this is pertaining to the so-called Negroes in the land of America. You have Benjamin, West Indians, the tribe of Levi are Haitians, Simeon, Dominicans, Zebulon, it says Guatemalans to Panama, basically. I'm not going to try and say the plural of that. Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim is Puerto Ricans. Manasseh is Cubans. Gad, North American Indians. Reuben, Seminole Indians. The tribe of Naphtali are the Argentinians or Chileans. The tribe of Asher, it says Colombians to Uruguayans. And Issachar are Mexicans, what today you would call Mexicans. So this is mainly where the 12 tribes of Israel are scattered to in today's world, but you also obviously have many other Israelites scattered amongst the other nations around the world, and living amongst the other nations. Some of those Israelites have taken wives of the other nations, so their children look like the other nations, yet their bloodline, their seed still goes back to the 12 tribes, the seed of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. So if you're new, understanding that is very important, in order to be able to either identify yourself or identify people of your same nation, the children of Israel, the tribe, the nation of Yasha'Allah. So knowing that, when you go to scriptures, you have to look at things through the Spirit. It's a phrase that you hear a lot, and you have to understand what it means. You can read through the scriptures, you can memorize them, you can have them in your memory. You can go over them so much that you have them all locked into your memory. You know them by chapter, by number, all these precepts, by verse, and you can recite them. And people often take these people for teachers of the Bible, people who can do that. But the question is, do they have the Spirit working on them? And the Spirit allows them to identify things within the scriptures clearer. It will lead you to use the Paleo-Hebrew or the Aramaic language or the ancient Greek to get a better translation on the scriptures and take it from there, and then look at things through the Spirit and expound on them. So when you go to Genesis, for example, chapter 49, you have brief descriptions on the 12 tribes of Israel. Start just looking at the top. There's it says here Israel's prophecy concerning his sons, and so the 12 tribes of Israel are sons. The 12 sons, come from the 12 sons of Israel, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. And Genesis chapter 49 goes into brief descriptions regarding these 12 particular tribes. And so when you look at, for example, here Genesis 49 and 27, it says, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at the night he shall divide the spoil. So going back to the chart, we understand that the tribe of Benjamin are what we would call today West Indians. And so what's written here is future prophecy. It's something that's yet to take place. So Benjamin, the descendants of Benjamin, one of the 12 tribes of Israel, says here, shall raven, shall tear to pieces as a wolf. And that's what a wolf will do when a wolf comes across its prey. When it finally catches the prey and has the upper hand, at that point it will tear its prey into pieces. So the Most High here in Genesis chapter 49, through Israel, through Jacob, is likening his son Benjamin and the descendants of Benjamin. So the tribe, they're a tribe, you could call them a nation, the 12 nations or the 12 tribes, because there's enough of them to create a nation. But they've been likened unto a wolf. And then it says here, and they shall raven, which means to tear into pieces as a wolf. It says here, in the morning he shall devour the prey, and at the night he shall divide the spoil. Now the morning represents when Yahushua comes, and Yahushua is coming to take down all these different kingdoms. We've had these various kingdoms, and he's here to put an end to all of those captivities, all of those kingdoms, those heathen nation, those heathen rulerships. And he's coming to set up the kingdom of heaven, and that is the point at which the 12 tribes of Israel will be established as a ruling power over the other nations on this earth. That's a time that we're coming up to very close, and it all the changeover coincides with the day of the Lord, the great day of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. So this is a future prophecy. It's telling you that the tribe of Benjamin, so we know that as the West Indians, will tear into pieces as a wolf. So in the morning, so on the return of Yahushai, he shall devour the prey. The prey will be the other nations, but mainly these Edomites, because currently we're under this Edomite captivity, and the Edomite captivity has by far been the worst. And so obviously once the tables are turned, it's only natural to take it out on those that have been oppressing you, but the ones that have been doing it worse, they're going to get it the worst. So that pretty much goes back to these Edomites. It says that in the morning he shall devour the prey, and at the night he shall divide the spoil. So this is future prophecy, and something that we haven't yet seen. We're yet to see. We're telling you this, and so then you want to get a deeper understanding. You then have to look at the precept through the Spirit to get a deeper understanding. You're not going to find documentation or certification to say who the 12 tribes are. We're not going to be able to produce DNA tests. This is something that you have to work out through the Spirit. Being called into this truth and then working your way through the truth, understanding more and more, and being guided by Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, the facts of whether you are an Israelite or not. These are all things that you have to do through the Spirit. So Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. Benjamin is being compared to or likened unto a wolf. So we should see the characteristics now of a wolf in the tribe of Benjamin, not just in the morning. In the morning they're going to be, they've been compared to a wolf. They're going to be tearing into pieces their prey, and that's something we're going to witness. But at the minute they're not able to do that. They're still under captivity. So the prey, if you like, these Edomites have the upper hand over them. But we should be able to look at the tribe of Benjamin and see characteristics of wolves. So now you've got to look up things about the wolves, and there's various things that wolves do, and one important thing is obviously tearing into pieces. That's how they devour their prey. And another thing that wolves do is that they howl. It's synonymous. Knowing a wolf, if you're going to know something about a wolf, you're going to know that it's going to tear into pieces its prey, and it's going to howl. It says here, howling may be heard at night, but it is not a behavior directed at the moon. Instead, it is used as a social rally call, a hail to hunt, or as a territorial expression. Did you know that individuals have different howls that can be heard by other wolves 6 to 7 miles away? A howl can even help a lost wolf find its way home. So this is what wolves do. They howl, and they use the howl as a social rally call. So when you go back to Genesis 49 and 27, the tribe of Benjamin shall tear into pieces as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey. So these wolves, they're also going to be howling. They'll be howling in the morning when they devour their prey, and they should be howling at the minute, because wolves always howl. Whether they're tearing into pieces or not, they're still going to howl from time to time. And why do they do it? As you just read, it's a social rally call. So at the minute we should see Benjamites howling, giving out a rally call through the characteristics of being likened unto wolves, and we expect them to do that in the morning. So when they devour their prey and they tear into pieces, we expect them to howl, and we also expect them to howl now. So howl is a as it says, it's a territorial expression, a hail, or to hunt, or as a territorial expression. So the wolves, Benjamin, will tear into pieces and howl in the morning, because they will be hailing to hunt their prey so they can tear it into pieces, and then they'll be using it as a territorial expression. It's also being used as a social rally call, and the tribe of Benjamin, so-called West Indians, do that at the minute. How do they do it? They do it through the music. They howl. They howl through the microphone with the music, and they do it within rhythm. They do it within beat, and they do it in a harmonic sound, in order to produce a sound which sounds of harmony. So you hear a wolf howling, and it just sounds a big, an actual wolf in the mountain that's howling. There's not much difference in sound to you, but when you hear the tribe of Benjamin howling as a human, the call becomes, it's more accepted by your ear, so it makes more sense, and you can differentiate. Don't forget, when you go back to the wolves, it says, did you know that individuals have different howls that can be heard by other wolves, so they understand the difference who's who. And so when we look at the tribe of Benjamin, and we see them howl through their music, and the main music really where you'll hear them howling, especially according to the scriptures. Don't forget, these are the children of the Most High, so there's going to be a spirit within them that's going to let you know that these people are a special people unto the Most High. So you can look at the skills that they have when they produce the music, for example. But you also have to look at the message. What you'll find in reggae music, for example, which is obviously big in the West Indies, is you'll find a thing called conscious lyrics, which is something you'll find more in their music than you'll find in, for example, other westernized music. You've got Israelites in America. They have the same characteristics. To a special people unto the Most High, a different tribe, the tribe of Judah. And then they're able to produce music of a high standard, but the message is not conscious. The message is degenerative. And so when you go to the, why is it that the Most High compares, through Jacob, through Israel, is comparing them to, likening them unto wolves? Because they are howling, but their howling is according to the spirit of the Most High, it's according to their own spirit. Really, you've got to understand, a lot of these West Indians, they don't know the name of the Most High. They call on Jah, or they call on Rastafari, and they call on Jesus, and they don't know the truth, and they get a lot of information wrong. They're blinded by the lies that are out here, by the spirit of sleep and slumber. However, the spirit is still within them, in there somewhere. Just like you had it before you came to this truth. You had a certain part of your spirit, your soul, which was not connected or complete. Something was missing, and then you come to the truth. You find out the name of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. You start working in the spirit. All of a sudden, everything makes sense. See, they don't have that connection yet, unless they've come across this truth. But they have the spirit within them to be wanted to be connected to the Most High, but they just don't know the right terms, the right information. That they don't know how to break down the scriptures correctly. Yet they're howling, and they're howling at the minute. They'll howl in the morning, a howl for joy. So you will see music produced, and the message within the music will change. In that we are the Israelites and we're on top. But at the minute, they'll come to you with the message that we're of what's actually happening, conscious lyrics. And this is Gregory Isaac. There's many songs out there. I've just picked 2 or 3 songs today, but there's many songs. I know today, when you move forward in time, and you go into West Indian music, you find a lot of lyrics around guns and drugs and women, and it starts to become a very degenerative message, especially through dancehall and bashment and all these types of things. But even today, you still have an element of reggae where a conscious message is being brought. And this example here, Gregory Isaac, Easy Natty, he says, easy natty, no, take it so rough, easy natty, easy, Babylon is too tough. So they know about Babylon, they know the message, they know, they're showing you, This is like someone talking to his friend. We all stand on been on some sort of street corner or something at some point, and you have the police pull up and they start to harass you, and someone's always going to kick off, and then this is coming from the point of view of an Israelite telling his friend, take it easy, don't let him wind you up, don't take it so rough, easy Natty, easy, Babylon is too tough. It's the same message that we bring to you through these scriptures. You're not going to overcome this system that we live under, the beast system. I'm trying to build the nation, trying to build the nation and bring wealth and economic structure to the children of Israel under the captivity of the Edomites is never going to work. It's too tough, and we tell you that, and that's why really you got to have faith. You got to wait on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the faith and the waiting and everything else that comes with it, and to be delivered. Why would you need a Messiah to deliver you from this captivity if you could make it work for yourself? So Babylon is too tough. It says them a walk, them a shoot, them a loot. Babylon, them a brute, them a walk, them a loot, them a shoot. But we know evil by the root, and that's what we are. The scriptures talk about. You go to, for example, Ezekiel 17 is one example. There's Ezekiel 17:1, and it says, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle, like the riddler. For example, when you try to corner a man of the Lord, a man who's got the Spirit working on him, a good example of that is Yahweh Shai, and you try to box him up with questions, and you try to put him in a certain position to make him look stupid, what you're going to find is that the person with the Spirit working on them is going to answer you questions back. He's going to just put forth riddles, because he knows what you're trying to do, and he has the truth, and so he knows how to work questions against your questions. This is something that Yahweh Shai did a lot. So really you can, the spirit of the riddler is within the men of the Most High. And that's why it says here, Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle, and speak a parable unto the house of Israel, and say, Thus saith Yahweh, a great eagle with great wings, long winged, full of feathers, which had diverse colours, came unto Lebanon, and took the highest branch of the cedar, and he cropped off the top of his young twigs, and carried it into a land of traffic. He set it in a city of merchants. So this is Babylon. This is talking about Babylon. This is that Babylon that these reggae artists will talk to you about. And it goes on to say here, he also took the seed of the land and planted it in a fruitful field. He placed it by great waters and set it as a willow tree, and it grew and became a spreading vine of low stature, whose branches turned toward him, and the roots thereof were under him. So it became a vine, and brought forth branches, and shot forth sprigs. There also went another great eagle. So these eagles represent the Edomites, with great wings and many feathers. And behold, and the vine did bend her roots towards him, and shot forth her branches towards him, that he might water it by the furrows of her plantation. So, we're compared to a plant, the nation of Israel. You go through the scriptures, we're referred to as boughs, branches of trees. So, humans are compared to, when you go through the scriptures, sometimes compared to the sea, sometimes compared to branches, and trees, and so on and so forth. And when you jump down to Ezekiel 17:22, it says, Thus saith Yahweh, I will also take off the highest branch of the cedar, and I will set it and crop it off from the tree of his young twigs, a tender one, and will plant it upon a high mountain and eminent. So this is talking about the nation of Israel. This is talking about Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai coming back to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, take down his captivity, and set up the kingdom of Israel above these other nations. Verse 23 says, In the mountain Of the height of Israel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs, branches, and bear fruit, sons. And the sons bear fruit, more children, and be a goodly cedar. And under it shall dwell a fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell. So these other nations will be under the rulership of Yasha'Allah. And verse 24 says, and all the trees of the field shall know that I, Yahweh, have brought down the high tree, have exalted the low tree, and have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry tree to flourish. I, Yahweh, have spoken it and have done it. So this is future prophecy. This is talking about the high tree at the minute, which are these Edomites. It says Yahweh have brought down the high tree, these Edomites, and have exalted the low tree, the children of Israel, and have dried up the green tree. So the green tree at the minute, these Edomites, and have made the dry tree to flourish. The dry tree at the minute being the nation of Israel. And we will be flourishing with the living water that comes through us, through the Spirit. It says, I, Yahweh, have spoken it and have done it. So it's quite easy to understand that we, the nation of Israel, should be able to look at these Edomites and understand that they're what? That but we know evil by the root. It says them a walk, them a shoot, them a loot. Babylon, them a brute, them a walk, them a loot, them a shoot. But we know evil by the root. Ezekiel chapter 17, as well as many other, I could go to other chapters, but that's just one example. You go to Revelation 17. It says, and upon a name was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. So that woman represents America, the whore. And it says, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So that woman drunk with the blood of the saints are the children of Israel. When you go back to Gregory Isaac, and he's saying, what's he saying? Babylon too tough. Them a walk, them a shoot, them a loot. Babylon, them a brute. And that's that nation, Babylon the Great, that brute nation. And when I saw a woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, because the Apostle John was shown this woman, this whore. It says here the doom of Babylon, and the angel showed America to John, and obviously with that John wondered after the beast, and eventually the angel said, why are you worrying about this woman has an end, America, Babylon the Great. It says, and upon her forehead was a name written, mystery, because it's a mystery. For all these years you've had these Benjamites, so-called West Indians, likened unto wolves, waiting for the morning so that they can devour their prey, but they've been howling. They've been howling as a social rally call. They have their individual calls, and their individual calls, their people hear it. And there's mysteries in there. That's why they have to, they call on Jah or Rastafari instead of Yahweh. That's why they have these dreadlocks. That's the dreadlock. The spirit of the dreadlock is a demon from Elamite, from ancient India, and it's an ancient spirit. It's an ancient demon, and it's been roaming the earth for centuries. And now he's jumped on these West Indian people, and these West Indian people claim that these dreadlocks are theirs. If you're a East Indian or an Edomite and you come up to a West Indian with your dreadlocks, the West Indian is going to try and laugh at you like it's not your thing to have. But it's not their thing to have. It's the East Indian, and so these people are lost. There's great mystery out there. And all these, it says here, abominations of the earth, these false gods, false idols, false worships, have been pushed by who? Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. That's why, Gregory Isaac, he goes on to to mention, I'm sure he mentions it somewhere, mentions Jah. Yeah, Jah be right there with you. But you got the name wrong. It's Yahweh. What it is, there's no J. So the J should be a Y, which says Yah, and Yah means he, but he is only half the name. He exists, Yahweh, he to be. But it shows you that Gregory Isaac doesn't have the full truth, but in his spirit he knows Babylon's too tough. He knows them a walk, them a shoot, them a loot, them a shoot, them a brute, and they're drunk with the blood of the saints. But we know evil by the root, Ezekiel 17. Look, easy, natty, easy. Just play it cool. That's what he's telling you. He's trying to give you the message that we're giving you, but we can give it to you better. We can give it to you clear, 100%, because we have the scriptures. But the spirit is on them to howl like a wolf, a social rally cry. And now you could go through this all day. With these particular artists, but I just picked one other. This is Barrington Levy. He calls himself Levi. You never know, could be going back to Levi. But he what kind of brought me to this lesson actually was hearing one of his songs. And this particular artist, he has a lot of messages in his songs. I mean, like I say, nowadays you go through the tribe of Benjamin. There's many forms of music that they produce, and some of the message is diluted with Babylon juice. So it's talking of a lot of adultery, a lot of drugs and sort of, if you like, I don't know, violence and all that kind of stuff. But somewhere in there you do find a good message still, which is hard to find in other forms of music. You have gospel music. A gospel artist will argue, well, this is godly music and there's no corruption within the music. But there is corruption within gospel music, because you never tell us about Allah Shaja, God Almighty, the demon-like power. You never, gospel music never gives you a message of to fear the Most High. It just tells you love, 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 clap your hands, love, love, love. So it's diluted with Babylon juice, even though it doesn't come across as aggressive as some forms of dancehall or bashment or hip hop or even drill music, all that kind of nonsense. But yeah, this is Barrington Levy. It's a famous one. This is Tell Them Already, and that's what the prophets do. We told them already. This is a murderer scene. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. That's what the prophets are doing. What does that take you to? Ezekiel chapter 33. So straight away on the intro, he's already given you biblical prophecy. He just doesn't know it. Maybe he does. Ezekiel 33:7 says, So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel, the nation of Israel. It says, Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. So that's where you get tell them already, we have to tell them again. It's the watchman's duty. Ezekiel chapter 33. You can, if you're new, you can go into that deeper. But they come with the message. It's in their spirit. They just maybe don't have the full 100. It says them come in a me area, want to kill off the youth. Who does that sound like? It says, now dress up in a jacket and them dress up in a tie. Come a courthouse, want to tell pure lies, them a murderer. So these are these Edomites, this Edomite system that you live in, these cities. You've been taken by captivity, especially those in America, into a nation where the Edomites are ruling. They put you into certain areas, and they put the abortion centers in your areas. They put the drugs. They put in your areas. They influence you into forming gangs and all this kind of stuff. And they're pretty much murdering you. But instead of doing it themselves, they get you to do it to each other, through the thing called hood violence. It says, them come in my area, want to kill off the youth. And they do it with the abortion clinics. They do it with the poison food, the poison air. And then you'll notice in in areas where there are a lot of Israelites, the types of food places that they put are, low level food places where the food is very unhealthy. So, all these types of things, and there's certain words for it. I can't really think of them right now. Certain words, that, where they sort of, make you a product of your society, but they make the society around you to produce you, clone Tyrone type of situation. That's what they come in the area, want to kill off the youth. Now dress up in a jacket and then dress up in a tie. These Edomites definitely, come a courthouse and tell pure lies. They're a murderer. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. Ezekiel chapter 33, warn them. It says, cause them modeling in them Jeep want to kick out my teeth. Come in them red, want to lick off my head. Come into me lane, want to flight out my brain. How they want to do that? They want to do that with the MOTB. The ultimate death maneuver from Esau is to issue you with that MOTB, and he can take over your system, he can track and trace you, he can turn you off, and eventually they'll develop it where they can control your emotions and your moods from the MOTB, from implementing that technology in your body. And that's what we keep warning you about. They want to flight out your brain. It says, them dress up in a jacket, dress up in a tie, want to deprive a man from my rights. Them a murderer. That's these Edomites. It says, watch them, a come, watch them, a come. Them a vampire. Them will suck out your blood. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. Tell them already, we have to tell them again. Ezekiel chapter 33. It says, anyone we know we know keep them friend. Girls we don't feel, we don't chat to them, because them a murderer. Even in the society, and people, they're setting up people get murdered, and a lot of these things start through women, pretty much. So this is, you can't trust anyone out here in this society. You have a woman trying it with you making a little bit of money, and this woman's trying it with you. She could be part of a gang trying to set you up to rob your money. So it just goes on and on. Dress up in a jacket, dress up in a tie, want to deprive a man from my rights. They're modeling in a Jeep, want to kick out my teeth, come into my lane, want to flight out my brains with the MOTB. It says, then dress up in a black, want to send me a dovecot, them a murderer. And dovecot is a place in Jamaica known for funeral arrangements. Watch them a come, because them a vampire. So this is the same message that we're giving you out of these scriptures. Them a vampire. Deuteronomy 28 and 50 or start of 49 says, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. These Edomites, you look at the symbol in America, for example, it's the eagle, and these Edomites are the nation that Yahweh has brought against thee from far, from the end of the earth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favour to the young. So when he's telling you them a murderer, they dress up in a jacket, them dress up in a tie, they want to deprive a man from my rights, because Yahweh has sent a nation of fierce countenance and strange tongue against you. So he's pretty much speaking scriptures, whether they know it or not. It's another thing. So this is a cry from their soul, and they may not know it. They know it because they feel the message. They feel it within themselves, and then they howl on the mic. They do that social rally call, and the message is clear according to the scriptures that they are those people been put in that situation under persecution. But yet not all of them realize it, and that's why they're howling so much. Really, the howling should come through the scriptures. The book of Revelation talks of the new song, which is the truth of these scriptures. So the 144,000 are out here today. They've learned that new song, and we're singing that new song to you. We're howling, we're giving that social rally call through the scriptures, through the truth. And that's why we can show you who our people are. and we can show you through the Spirit that, look, this is you written, you're Benjamin, your characteristic is to be like a wolf. And they look at you strange, and you go, yeah, because you howl. You're howling on the mic. You know, I know I grew up with a lot of Jamaicans and a lot of West Indians, and you know they all got it. They all got that skill to howl upon the mic. I mean, most of them, not every single one, but you know, there's a high number. So it's within their spirit. It's within them. And you tell them, don't worry, because in the morning you shall devour your prey, and tear it into pieces. But this is 1 Peter 1:7, says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua Hamashiach. So, you know, your soul is crying out for this change, to be delivered from this evil, wicked captivity, this kingdom. And you know, our people know it. That's why you see them howling on the mic. They just don't know the true name. Even here, we're reading through the scriptures, and they've given you the name Jesus the Christ, and there's no such person. So everywhere you go, there's deception. It's hidden. The truth is hidden, and that's why the true men of the Most High are here to guide you through this, and give you that spiritual understanding, give you the true name of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai. It says here, whom having not seen, you know, Yahushai, whom having not seen ye love, in whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing. You know, these are our people, they believe. It says, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to come out here, we're trying to give you the salvation of your soul through these scriptures, through the calling of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. We can identify our people through the Spirit, through the scriptures, and we can see that their soul is crying out for the same thing. The only difference is the knowledge of the scriptures, and the Spirit working with you to be able to come out of that misunderstanding. And this is Apostle Paul, Romans 10. Says, Romans 10:1, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. And that's, you can say that with the tribe of Benjamin. This is another one, Barrington Levy. It says, Ayawi Day. Do you know what? I'm not Jamaican. My wife is. I can constantly hear the patois from her family members, and so I can understand it, but I'm not really too good with getting my mouth around it. But Ayawi Day, giving thanks and praise. So he's pretty much saying, where you at, giving thanks and praise. The things that you do. Now he's put Jar is watching you. See, again, Jar, there was no J more than 500 years ago, so that J should be a Y. Yah is only half of his name. Yah simply means he, but he who. And Yah, you got Yahweh, he to be, he exists. So they have the zeal. You know, he's got a song here pretty much saying, where you at, giving thanks and praise. Where you at, giving thanks and praise. The things that you do, the Most High is watching you. Anything you say, the Most High is hearing you. Anywhere you go, Yahweh is there with you. So let us all unite and stop the little fussing and fight. So the zeal is there, but the knowledge is definitely not. That's why you go back to Romans 10. For I bear them records. This is Apostle Paul speaking about our people, who also was a Benjamite. So he would know more than anyone else. He would have looked at his own tribe and said, yeah, you guys really are howling like wolves. But the problem is, I bear them record that they have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to the knowledge. And that's why you have to find a prophet, a true man of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. And this is Revelation 21. 21:4 says, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So that, they're calling out from their soul, from their spirit, and they'll, eventually it'll all be wiped away. And he's got there's two more songs that I picked out. One is Teach the Youths. You go through these the lyrics, they're not extensive, they're not deep, but they coincide with the scriptures to a T. Now this one's about his personal story, but you can relate it to the truth that we come from. It says, went away to a far land, spent some time in New York, most of my time in England, no welcome back to my born land. And that's our story. We're the Israelites. We have a land that's promised to us. We can't go there until Yahushua comes back. In the meantime, we got to live amongst these other nations scattered around the world. Many of us are in England, and many of us are in New York. It says here, come to England to make some vibes just to keep my fans alive, because this obviously is relating to his life. It says, but the vibes they're teaching me that don't write in my book, no. Yes, the vibes they're teaching me that don't write in my book. And that's what we're telling you through these scriptures. We're out here, we're scattered, we're living amongst the other nations. We've grown accustomed to their traditions and their heathenistic ways. And now Ezekiel chapter 37 is taking place, the Great Awakening. And so we're coming here to teach you. We're showing you, just like Apostle Paul, some of our people have the zeal of the Most High, but you need to learn the name, such and so on and so forth. But going out here, finding our people amongst the other nations, the vibes that they're teaching me, it says here, that don't write in my book. It says, no but the day, put them no way, no but the day, Lord, I want them to stay. He says, don't put the day away, pretty much, Lord, I want them to stay. It says, sex and guns just keep them to the ground, horse tonic, and make the girls then panic. So this is the curses. Sex and guns just keep them to the ground. Deuteronomy chapter 28. And we're living under these curses, and the curses, the Most High has put us under these curses for not following his laws and commandments. That's why people like Benjamin are crying out, howling, doing that social rally call. And he's saying, look, sex and guns just keep you to the ground. What's in the ground? It's the grave. And so who did the Most High put on this planet Earth to set up as captivity to punish us? The Edomites. And that's all they are. They're just a tool. Psalms 10 and 8 says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. So that is, back to these Edomites. That's why, you go back to this particular song, and it's called Teach the Youths. So sex and guns just keep you to the ground, into the grave, and it's through what we've just seen. It says, teach the youth them how to live, teach the youth them how to survive, hold your corner and save your life, and that's no jive. And that's what we're showing you when it comes down to MOTB. We're right on the edge of Jacob's trouble. The whole world is about to suffer a great time of tribulation. And why are you sitting here listening to this video, trying to take on board this truth, calling on the names of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, is to hold your corner and to save your life. And that's no jive. And that's what we're teaching you, how to survive, according to these the prophecies that are due to come up. So some of these youths then make a living by selling some stones, while some make a living wiping down cars. Stones are rocks. Rocks is an old school code word for crack. I think this song was out in the 80s or 90s, so rocks was a more familiar term. So some of these youths make a living selling some stones, rocks, cracks, while some make a living wiping down cars. Can't you see the times we're living in? The people are suffering. It says here, don't teach me nothing, just teach me something. Don't teach me nothing, just teach me something. So you got IUIC, for example, they're teaching you that destruction is coming, and they're breaking all the prophecies down wrong. The whole world's going to get obliterated. The MOTB is not a RFID. and there's a fiery underground hell. All these things are wrong. And so the IUIC are these great teachers, and they teach you nothing. And that's what Barrington is requesting here. He's saying, don't teach me nothing, teach me something. So don't teach me nothing, IUIC. If you just teach me something, GMS. So that's why you have to go to GMS to get the true understanding of the scriptures. And then, all this howling that you're doing on the mic is great. You produce this music, but you could, you could correct it slightly, tweak it up, because like I say, it is according to the scriptures. It's just every now and again they go off with the wrong name, so on and so forth. So the song pretty much repeats there. I'm just trying to fly through these. Poor man's style. So we had Psalms 10. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. So this is talking about the wicked, a prayer for the overthrow of the wicked. The wicked are the Edomites, and the poor are the Israelites. So again, another howling, another social rally call by one of the tribe of Benjamin. Is Barrington again. That's poor man's style. Who's the poor man? It's the Israelites. It says, I open up my business place to make a living for my wife and my child, but every time I open the shop, it always break down. My granny eat it out, my mama eat it out due to the sufferation. I got to make life some other way. My granny is crying, my brother is crying. That's the poor man's style. That's the poor man's style. That's the poor man's style. So, and that's who's the poor man? That's the Israelites, and he's showing you, running you through these curses. Deuteronomy chapter 28, opening up a business place to make a living for my wife and my child. But every time I open the shop, it always break down. It's these curses. People say, I feel like I'm cursed. You are. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Allah Shaja, demon-like power. And it just goes on to say, here, me brother, sit down in my home, I roast the breadfruit, I hear the news flash, say they killed 2 youths. That's the poor man's style. That's the poor man's style. And that's the style of you Israelites out here. A lot of you Israelites, they're out there running in the streets, gang banging. 2 get shot, they show up on the news. That's the poor man's style. That's the style of the poor man of the scriptures, is Israelites. Don't forget, when you go to the story of Lazarus, the rich man represents these elites today, these banking elites, these Rothschilds, these high money men on the Edomite side of society, and the elites of the nation of Israel. They're poor. They're known as the poor. So obviously that you see that through the story of Lazarus, but obviously other places you go into the scriptures, and the Israelites are known as the poor. But it says here, couldn't get no sugar, but so obviously again they've got the name wrong. So we're going to allow him on that. We're going to, if you meet Barrington, you have to tell him, look man, just get the name right. It says couldn't get no sugar, but Yahweh give me power. That's the poor man's style, and that's us. Can't get no sugar, but Yahweh give you power. And how does he give it to you? Through the scriptures, through the understanding, through the spirit. I took you to one precept, Genesis 49:27. We showed you a physical thing that the tribe of Benjamin will do, and then since then we've been talking through the spirit, and just talking about how Benjamin is likened unto a wolf. What does a wolf do? A wolf howls. What's a howl? A howl is a social radical. Now we've just gone through these various examples of social rally calls, and now it's telling you, couldn't get no sugar, but Yahweh give me power. That's the poor man's style, and that's our style. The men of the Most High are meek, they're humble, they're on a low level when it comes to status wise, money wise, status. You've got these presidents, these prime ministers, these kings and queens. They're on a high level when it comes to being known. But the men of the Most High, the next government that's due to take control of this earth, at the minute they look like ordinary, everyday, normal people, and they look like poor men, poor man's style, living under the curses. But couldn't get no sugar, but Yahweh give me power. This is the poor man's style. Couldn't get no flour, but Yahweh give me power. That's the poor man's style. I'm not going to use that Jar Jar, because we all know it's not the true name of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. It says, couldn't get no oil, me have to walk a couple of miles. That's the poor man's style. Couldn't get no sugar, what a great booga wooga. It's the poor man's style. That's the poor man's style. And he goes on to say, at some point my girl wanted shoes that I couldn't afford. That's the poor man's style. So we've all been in these similar situations. It's called the curses. This is Job chapter 20 and 10. Says, his children shall seek to please the poor. His hands shall restore their goods. Again, this is Job talking of the wicked. And who are the wicked? The wicked are the Israelites. Or it says, this is Zophar. So this is a friend of Job. It says, the triumph of the wicked is short. And it says, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. So at the minute, you're living in this society where these Edomites have really, done a number on the Israelites through slave trade, captivity. And now you're living in a society where they say, we've got this BLM, we're going to give you this kick racism out, blah, 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 all this kind of talk. And, this is like them, his children seeking to please the poor. His hands shall restore their goods. So they dig up these artifacts and they go, look, we found out that this and that. And so what it is, these Edomites in society, they still assume control and power. And they don't really want you to know that, so-called people of color were ruling the earth before they came along. But, they slowly, they're seeking to please the poor. The poor are the nation of Israel. So they try to give you credit and these one-ups. So we're going to do this and that, and we're going to put this into your society to, build up the area. And it never works, because ultimately we're under the curses. But, this is speaking of the wicked, as opposed to the poor, and the poor being the nation of Israel, the poor man's style. This is 1 Samuel. I didn't really need that one. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with this one. So, we went through some social rally calls. Where's back to the wolves? Benjamin is likened unto a wolf. In the morning he shall devour his prey, he shall raven, he shall tear it into pieces. And wolves are known for howling. Howling may be heard at night, but it's not a behavior directed at the moon. Instead, it's used as a social rally call, to hail, to hunt, or as a territorial expression. So through the Spirit we understand, like I say, from Genesis 49:27, one precept through the Spirit, and we went around all of that information. So I'll leave you with this one. This one's for you Edomites, because they can have their own social rally call, and the times that we're living in, their social rally call should be songs like this: Let's Face the Music and Dance. And this is Irving Berlin, but you get many people have covered this: Nat King Cole, I think, one, and Frank Sinatra, so on and so forth. And it says here, there may be trouble ahead, and that's what we're here to warn you, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. So now we've just seen the social rally calls for the tribe of Benjamin, and now we're seeing the social rally call for you Edomites, because your captivity, your kingdom is about to go down. You've got less than a year and a half max, 2 years max. By 2026, I expect Yahweh Shai to be here, and to this kingdom to be well established and underway, the kingdom of heaven. So in between now and then, the social rally call for you Edomites is let's face the music and dance. It says that there may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. It says, before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and that's what Yahweh Shai is coming to ask you Edomites to pay the bill, and it. These words have reached up into the gates of the nobles, these elites, they know that we're bringing this message, and they know how close it is to the return of Yahweh Shai. They don't want it to come. They want to put it off, and they're going to do everything in their power to stop the day of the Lord happening, but it's not going to happen. They're going to be asked to pay the bill, and that's why in the meantime it says it, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. And also, speaking of paying the bill, these Edomites paying the bill, what is, when you go back to Genesis 49:27, what does it say? It says Benjamin shall divide the spoil. The Edomites are going to have to pay the bill, and Benjamin will divide the spoil. It says soon will be without the moon, because the moon is known as understanding. Revelation chapter 12 talks about the nation of Israel being a woman with the moon under her feet. That means the understanding, like you've got the world at your feet. It says here, soon will be without the moon. Yes, you Edomites. Scriptures also talk about the moon and the sun being, not shining, no one, as well as the ICBMs blocking out the light. There'll be no understanding or wisdom within this kingdom come the day of Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. It says here, humming a different tune, and then there may be teardrops to shed. So while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. And humming a different tune. See, at the minute, these Edomites, they're humming that tune, especially these elites, they're humming the tune of prosperity, the fact that they're in power, they have control, and they're making these wicked maneuvers. They want to subject the whole world to this MOTB, put everybody under that rulership, that total control. But when Yahweh Shai comes back, when they're asked to pay the bill, and that's when they'll be without the moon. That's when they'll be humming a different tune. They'll be humming the tune of captivity. Those who lead into captivity shall go into captivity. So, to you Edomites, this is your swan song. Let's face the music and dance. So I hope that was edifying. I'm going to leave it right there. Until next time, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.